Hello? Is this thing on? Who said that? Da-na-na-na-na. All right. Nice and hydrated. Got a full glass of water. It's kind of hot in here. The only way that I can see what song is playing is by looking at OBS. I don't have all these memorized, but I recognize all of them. All right. First of all, I want to make this trap a fast action door. So we're going to go to generalized actions and we're going to change it to walk over once, turbo door. Open only and no monsters. All right. Just a little bit of odds and ends to get warmed up on the whole shebang. My watch is actually irritating me. Take this off real fast. There. I want this to be like a round pedestal instead of a 15, 4, 16 to line 7. Oh, come on, man. And there we go. Do I want that to come down? I don't know. I realize I still haven't done really any of the ceiling detailing. Ceiling detailing? That sounds weird. Yeah, I haven't done any of that. Got a lot of stuff to do. Try to get a lot done today. That's my goal. Black marble for this, I think. Yep. Take the BFG out of it for a second. Put up here. Actually, I keep having to redo these line defs because I kind of want to do something else. 0 and 0. I just want to pizzazz this up a little bit. And now some kind of border texture here. I really hate that this is the only other pink texture. It just looks like meat. Actually, that doesn't look terrible. I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of meat. Oh. I think I want this door to be more centered in the wall. I'm joining you from Tim Hortons. Are you serious? Tim says hi? Oh, nice. Is he giving out free coffee today? Timothy Hortons. All right. Oops, I should not have reset the grid. Let's try that again. Do I want this to match that? That means I need to come in a little bit more. There we go. I get the pink one here. Am I excited for Valentine's Day? I don't know. I honestly just don't even really think about it until it's here. Then I'm like, oh shit. Should do something for Valentine's Day. This is the same. What am I doing? Okay, this is the mid texture. I don't know why I'm getting confused about this. For whatever reason, whatever map program that Sneezy makes this in, because Sneezy does not use Ultimate Doom Builder, it sets textures to the upper, mid, and lower of every line depth from what I can tell that's actually textured. It's a little strange. Ooh, white marble? That could look kind of neat. Maybe. Interesting detail, I suppose. You've been retaining myself until Valentine's Day. Oh, man. Why is this line split up? There's no reason for that. Actually, I really like the pink and white textures in this WOD. Yeah, I'm kind of endeared to it. I'm definitely liking the vibe quite a bit too. You know, this is not a texture combination I would normally use, but I'm glad it's kind of forcing me to experiment with it. You turn the res all the way up for Lover Squirrel. That's funny. Okay. Huh. In a weird way, it would be kind of interesting if, like, the exterior of the building was, like, dumpy looking. I don't know if I love that idea, but I'm gonna see what it looks like. Woke stream. What up, dude, kid? I don't know, maybe I'll just leave it. You have to long drive? I must long drive in short time. Supreme? My mapping is Supreme, like a Supreme pizza, like it's got all the toppings on it. I think I'm just gonna leave this alone. Oh, wait a minute. If I want these to be congruent with the other patterns, this got a border with the black texture. Okay. Delete this and this. Oh, not that. Don't be looking like your sister. Couldn't get a date to save her life. Gotta peg them texts. Okay, on this side, the trim is level with the windowsill, and on this side, the trim is level with the windowsill. Playing by the same rules. I'm not sure how far to take this one over. Okay, this one just needs one. You're crazy, man. If you leave the textures unpegged, your WOD is going to fester and spoil. Oh, that's not enough. Let's... Oh, it's because this is not... This is a weird angle. Oh, I don't like that. Oh. Nice. So this will be a tiny little tip off that the BFG is trapped, but I think most people will suspect that anyways. Did I fix that action? Yes, I did. And nice. This is starting to come together. I just need to do the ceiling. So I need to figure out what I want to do with that. I don't think I want to take advantage of this being a border, but I should probably check what it looks like. The wad is unsealed. So for the ceiling, I think I want a third texture, so I don't want it to match really any of the textures that are on the floor, if I can help it. I want to introduce a new color. That's where I like to put some of the variance, is in whatever the ceiling has on it. This kind of gold flecked marble could be kind of interesting. I don't know how well it's going to tile with these interesting shapes. The red would be interesting, but it's probably going to be too much. I like all these square tiles, but so much of this map is not orthogonal in design that any of these is going to be really hard to use. Oh, this is a cool slime texture. All right, well, I guess I need to start experimenting. So most obvious one is I'm just going to see... Oh, of course I'm changing the floor texture, for fuck's sake. Marble 17. I think I would need to do an alternating pattern with the ceiling as well. Ah, man, I love this MIDI so much. I love, like, all the tracks that Tristan wrote for Eve Eternity 2. They're all so good. So it'd be black trim on the ceiling. That could be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to want to keep this or not, but I'm going to look at it and see how it kind of goes. All right, so let me get the black marble trim. I'm trying to do string and long drive man pop out and yell spaghetti. Take care, Doom Kid. See you later, man. I feel like this needs to be black too. I don't know if this is the right vibe. Is that interesting? I feel like that... I feel like this is kind of like too obvious. You know what? I want to know what happens if the ceiling and the floor actually match. Except maybe this one. This could be red. That would look all right. And then this one, this one. And then we go back to the white texture. Maybe I do want the ceiling and the floor to match, so I guess we'll see. Matching floor and ceiling right to jail. Sometimes, not all the time. Not all the time. But yeah, I do feel like ignoring texturing the ceiling a specific way is kind of overlooking a way to introduce some visual variety in a productive way, so I didn't really like that much anyways. It's honestly probably not going to be that complicated of a choice. This makes me feel bad as a player running up these stairs in 2.5 seconds unless it traps you in there. What do you mean by that? Do you mean that you just don't even notice it? Because that's also kind of what I think about when I'm considering how much it's worth to invest time in the detailing of that. It's just kind of like, people aren't going to see this shit anyway, so why am I worrying that much about it? The problem is if there's no variation in what the ceiling looks like currently, then the elevation change just becomes a lot more muddy looking visually. So I think no matter what, I need to have some kind of alternation. But I just don't know what I like at this point. You can play the map in no monsters mode after you beat it. It is going to be a pretty quick map, which is kind of ironic for how much detail I'm putting in it. That I think most people's par time will be under 5 minutes for this map. But it's kind of, I mean, it's amusing to me in a good way. I like it. It doesn't make sense to use any of the wood textures, even though this would probably be a good complementary color. No, it wouldn't. What am I talking about? That was terrible. And I do think it's worth grinding this decision out now, because then I can apply this as a new rule to designing the rest of the map, so it'll take a lot less time to select stuff. I just feel like this brown doesn't really belong anywhere in this color scheme. Nothing matters anymore, and then you die. Alls I'm saying is there's there's a trade-off for the amount of time that you put into something and how likely it is that somebody is going to see it. And for some things, let's be honest, you don't spend a lot of time looking at the ceiling in Doom because most players do not use vertical aim. I think. Maybe not. Maybe. Actually, that'd be a good poll just to see, like, people who even play vanilla maps, how often do you turn on free look? Yeah, I do also agree that it's satisfying to just make something that you know looks good, and that does inform a lot of my design, because I want it to be satisfying to me first and foremost. I'm just saying that, you know, as a tool to kind of break away from this almost like dominating drive to hyper detail every single thing and obsess over every single decision in mapping and in many things creative, basically anything. Sometimes you just need to be forced to make a decision. You want to make Doom Kid mad about mouse look? I'm not quite ambivalent to mouse look. I would prefer that people not use mouse look when they play my maps, but ultimately I'm a proponent of just play Doom however you want. But I like the meta challenge that mouse look and auto aim introduce into the combat sandbox. I feel like you lose an axis of some of the gameplay by taking that meta game out of it and just being able to look in it and shoot at whatever you want. So in that sense, I feel like because it sacrifices an element of the core gameplay, I would prefer people do not play with mouse look, but I mean, ultimately it's fairly negligible, so I don't really care all that much. Doom Kid plays multiplayer with mouse look. Well, that's different. I'm making a map for that embryo project that will be totally broken by mouse look, but I haven't decided to embrace that. Is it going to be completely broken, or is it just going to be a lot easier? Because, like, I designed a map and I told Clippy flat out, I was like, you're going to use mouse look, it's going to make this map a lot easier. And he, at the end of the day, he said, like, it was still fairly challenging. So, you know, to his experience, it didn't really affect it all too much. So maybe it wasn't that big of a deal for me to worry about. I don't know. Yeah. Combat and target prioritization. That whole aspect of it just not the same. But some people suffer from introducing a third dimension of aiming. It's more for you to focus on. And so some elements of your twitch reflexes have to be tighter. So, you know, in some ways you could argue that it's not just like it's a win button or anything like that, but yeah, I do think most of the time it makes it easier. All right, so I did think about how I want to introduce the Cyber Demon trap into this map now, and I have some ideas. I need to make this space make a little bit more sense, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have just a large connected outdoor area. I'm going to have some sort of monster, probably revenants, but I'm not sure yet. They will be on no ambush flag, so they'll wake up for sound. I'll make this a blocking sector so that ultimately the sound from this room can't affect the sound in this room until the doors open. And then I'll have them teleport across a line def so they come out into the arena so that you're flanked by those enemies when the Cyber Demon walks out. And this will be just a cool little outdoors area that exists to kind of flesh out the map. Would mouse look break something other than shootable switches or sniper beyond auto aim range? Yeah, I think one of the biggest threats of when you just go up on like a cliff, or you like a situation where like being up on the cliff takes you away from progression, and eventually you need to like leave the cliff to go like ammo or like progress the map, and there's just a bunch of monsters clustered below you. I think there's a natural lowering of target priority for elevated turret monsters, even if they're in shootable range. Yeah. Dr. Smellzone, hello. Welcome. I'm doing a little bit of contemplating, a little bit of discussing Doom. Not a lot of line drawing right now, but I will be doing that very short. Oh, shit, I just spilled water all over my keyboard. For fuck's sake. Luckily, this is a Logitech, and it's just been beat to shit so many times already, it's never gonna die. Alright, I'll be right back while I get some towels. It'll be fine. I just need to get some towels real fast. Okay. Crisis averted. Okay. Not a big deal. Luckily, I don't have anything sensitive on my desk or anything like that. You're currently playing Pina Colada. I played at least half of it. It's very good. I don't think Pina Colada is a speed map set. I think they may have been restricted by monster count. Yeah, Pina Colada is really good. It's not just speed map chaff. It's actually just legit good quality combat and gameplay with some pretty sick detailing in most of the maps. All right, let me see if I can do this now without breaking anything else in my personal space. So one thing I wanted to try to do was maybe shrink the size of this a little bit so I have more space for this closet to exist. Well, so with the Pina Colada set, it's probably more fair to say that it's made by a bunch of people who probably met through Blue Pineapple, and then it is strictly a Blue Pineapple certified project, if that makes sense. So the association certainly is there, but it's not in the project catalog, so to speak. All right. Actually, I like the trees not following the contour of the rocks perfectly. All right, so I have... This is now just a big mess. It's alright, and fix it. I also never played Doom maps, which is the other issue. Yep. It just goes back to what I said the other night. I'm pretty sure if you make maps, there's a very high likelihood that you barely ever play Doom maps yourself. Due to how much time it takes or whatever other reason. But yeah, I think ultimately I'm not trying to stir up a debate about the validity of this topic, so let's not get into it necessarily, but I think that there's a reason that Pina Colada won a CAC award. You know, and not to say that the pineapple under the sea stuff is not quality or anything like that, but, you know, I certainly understand the reluctance to view it outside of the lens of it's just, you know, quick speed maps to people to tinker with. This is... Okay, part of the stupid problem is that the React icon on this YouTube is right... It obstructs text on the chat box. This is no, but what about Eternity 2? I beat Eternity 2. I haven't finished all the secret maps. I've still got to do Ukiro's map, which is like 2 hours long for a UV max run. Andrew Krachowski, welcome again. Yes, I'm back at it. I'm just kind of taking advantage of the productivity that this kind of entices to just work on a stream and get into it. Yeah, I thought Eternity 2 was sick. It's definitely one of the coolest WADs I've played. All right, let me see. I'm trying to think of what I'm doing here. Yeah, the midis were so good. I have several midis from Eternity 2 in the playlist that I'm playing right now. I've said it before, but I'll say it again, is that I'm like absolutely blown away by some of the tracks that that Tristan Clark wrote for that. They just like they just like hit the spot for me. I'm having so much trouble like envisioning this spot right now. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to get into the flow than others, I suppose. All right, well, you know what? Let me do this. This will probably help. Let me just delete all this. .48 and 48, that's good distance between these two. Okay. This... Could this be... This could be part of the window. This should be fine. Oh, this needs to be higher for sure. So let's see. Wait, how high is this? This is 384. This is 320. I do like to make adjacent skies match each other. Otherwise, it looks a little bit odd. This makes sense to be wood. Should be fine. I don't think it's one of those things that's people are going to think all that much about. All right, so now I need a doorway. So that doorway is going to look like what? This is 48 and 48. No, this is 56. What did I do here? What's going on? Oh, it's just because the elbow kicks out. Let's see. This type of editing where you're like almost doing demo on something that already exists is easily the hardest type of editing for me to wrap my head around. I have to stare at these shapes like for a long time and make considerate decisions before I start actually doing real work, or I get stuck very easily. But now I've got this kind of figured out. I think I know what I'm doing now. Because I have to sit with it. I just sit with it. What do you think that disclaimer on the screen is all about? Such a weird juxtaposition, that door track. All right, so this actually needs to come down a little bit. Hello, there's a random water pool right there. I think do something like this. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Let's see. What's the Oh yeah, sorry. I sometimes I neglect the chat. This is for a future project. Yeah, this is the project is the Doomworld Dating Simulator, which is basically you pick a person or persons to make a map with, and use this texture set that's themed on Valentine's Day. It has a lot of fun assets in it. I can show you in a little bit. What is the shortcut to adjust the texture alignment anyway? Slate is Control Shift and mouse wheel. A, I think. It's so weird when I'm at the stage with mapping shortcuts and stuff like that, that it's like committed to muscle memory, and then if I have to consciously think about what it is, it confuses me for a second. Yeah, so A aligns it left to right, and Shift A aligns it up to down vertically. Now this could be something cool. This is a door, so it could be a door texture, but there's probably a really neat Valentine's Day texture in here somewhere. Also, I'm going to say it out loud so that I remember it, because one thing that I've been thinking of for a cool idea would be to draw some like sector hearts or something like that as little decorations in a few places. See you later, Sandwich. All these like interesting cathedral-y textures. I don't think that really fits the profile of this map. Love portal. Ooh, do some kind of cool purple fireplace somewhere. I'm trying to think of where that would work. You're doing it all jank by manually entering the numbers for offsets. So you're doing all your mapping in Slade. Do you have any reason you don't want to use like Ultimate Doom Builder? You on Linux or something? I don't know. Is you Ultimate Doom Builder on Linux? I don't really get into that stuff. Linux is an area I decided I just don't want my life to be any more complicated than it already is. Ooh, gold. Oh, I use the arrow keys to manually align stuff, especially when it's an odd shape or an odd size and I just can't get away with it. All these cute roses and stuff like that, I want to try to use some of these shapes. But what do I want for this door texture? That's the million-dollar question. Linux is simple these days. I know Linux is relatively simple, but like be honest, like Linux still has like just slightly annoying idiosyncrasies here and there. And I guess I'm just in my comfort zone. It's like I'm starting to feel like an old dog and I want to learn new tricks. So Ultimate Doom Builder technically works on Linux, but not reliably. I see. Slade is all you know. Yeah, it's a shame. I think that Ultimate Doom Builder has so many amazing quality of life features. I just can't imagine mapping with anything less at my fingertips. Perhaps I'm a bit pampered, but you know, entering manual offsets is not the kind of thing I want to spend my time mapping doing. Instead, I'd prefer to just sit here and scroll back and forth through the texture selector. Apparently, is what I'm ordained to do currently. I know one thing I wanted to do was change the lighting in this area because it's just too dark and I don't like it. I'll make it look a little bit more like daytime. Cool, so now I got this little outdoors area. Oh, and I was gonna make a little cliff here so that I'm not sold on that door yet, but we'll leave it for now. This is calling for more detail, but for the time being, I'm just going to kind of stick with this because I'm not totally sure what I want to do yet. But we'll go ahead and make... So this is a floor, lower to lowest floor. So I actually need to turn this around. And I'm going to make this a different texture. I'm going to make this a light. I don't have any lights in this map so far. And as much as it does not make sense to have a light here, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it and no one can stop me. I don't think I like this gold here, but I'm just going to leave it for now. It's one of those things where like I'll stare at it long enough that it offends me, and then I'll probably think to change it. But for now, What sector is this? This is sector 14, so we'll go ahead and tag this as 14. And now I can move the Cyber Demon here. The Cyber Demon we will set to ambush. He's already set to ambush. What is this sector even doing here? Do I even need this sector for any reason? I don't. So this can just be gone. Cool. Can't wait for the Doom Builder plugin that automatically picks good textures for the map. You want AI powered Doom Builder? That already exists, but it's called Oblige. Let's see. I always get sound blocking wrong. This means it's a barrier. It should be monsters in this sector will not wake up until this is open. Let's see. If I open this... See, like it has the sound explorer. I don't know if you can do that in Slade, but like I can very easily tell anytime there's a leak of sound. So that if I don't want monsters to wake up in certain areas, I can very easily troubleshoot that. I just can't imagine not having that at my disposal because it's so convenient. You're good with Oblige being bad for as long as possible. Yeah, Doom is like the last bastion of creativity. I don't want it to be taken away by machines. The machines will never take my Doom away. Is this 3? This is 312. This is 384. This ceiling is considerably less high than the other ceiling, but I don't think that really matters. Even though they're technically adjacent to each other. Because I don't think you're just going to really think much about it. You can't see the two of them at the same time, really. Anyways, okay. So what I'm going to do... I'm actually designing a trap. And I say that because I just haven't really done any of that. All this map was designed for me, and I'm doing just the detailing, so... Revenants are a really obvious choice of monster to join a fight against a Cyber Demon. Pain Elemental could be interesting to get some Lost Souls into the mix. But, to be honest, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal because there's a very high likelihood you will have the BFG when you fight the Cyber Demon. So... I think what that really means is that if I wanted to design this to be challenging or tricky, then I would incorporate a monster that has equal level of priority to the Cyber Demon in the pecking order, which is, of course, the Archvile. So, when you get this key and you come back into this area... This door will be open. The Cyber Demon will come out. I need to block all the lines for sound leading out of the main courtyard. So when you come in and you fight the Cyber Demon, all the monsters in here will wake up. And I think I want to pull a Nothing Personal kid and maybe have the Archvile spawn in behind the player. My only concern is that he'll catch a rocket from the Cyber Demon immediately. Everyone looks at my detailing. Yes, it's like every single trap spawns Archviles and Imps and Pinkies. So it's just endless that. We'll turn a 5-minute map into a 15-minute map easy. Hi there. I noticed you weren't looking at all these details that I put into the map, and I'm going to need you to just fight these Archviles and do that for me, please. Got to go back to work. See you later, Andrew. Take care. Mancubus could be a good one. Mancubus infights with the Cyber Demon really well. This is kind of an awkward way to design a trap. Normally I would just do this with a monster closet, but I'm purposefully doing it in this manner just to, I guess, for the hell of it. No monsters to fight. I don't want to annoy everyone. Let's see, so I want these monsters to all wake up and immediately go into a teleporter. I don't think I need to be super precise with the way this is designed. I don't think. See, these need to be flipped, of course, so that the monsters are on this side of them. This might be kind of a jank way of doing it. I'm not totally sure. So I want a Mank to show up here. Where's the teleport? There it is. Do you ever force people to two-shot cybers on your maps? I have not. You mean by just giving them 80 cells? Not something I've done personally. $15, $16. Archvile will come out of this one. All right. Archvile comes out of 17. $16 and $15. For one of my hell revelations. I still don't know how to say that. I limited myself by saying I couldn't use teleports at all, which of course meant no monster closets. I feel like that informed my fight design. I don't think I've ever required a two-shot. Yeah, two-shot to save cells. And plus, it's a fun little challenge to try. Like, every time I will say that when I play Doom, I try to two-shot every Cyber Demon if I have the chance to. Regardless of if it seems like I need to or not. Yeah, I've definitely... I don't think I've done an entire map yet where I force myself not to use monster closets, but I do try to... sometimes impose arbitrary limitations within one fight or the next. Cool, so this outdoor area is now a little monster closet, really. It's really what I did is I just decorated a monster closet and made it explorable. Zin Solipsis, back at it again. I am indeed back at it again. I got a lot of work to do on this, and the deadline's not until the 12th of February, but deadlines in any capacity make me incredibly anxious when I start getting up to them. So as just a rule of thumb, my approach with a deadline is to go at it hard, usually as soon as possible. So I just can't deal with I can't deal with not having, like, with waiting until the last minute to get something like that done. I don't know why. And I'm just blocking sound on all these sectors out of the main area so that nobody will wake up until you come back into the courtyard. mostly out of living deadline to deadline on CPs. Yeah, I don't think I like participating in community projects, but I don't feel like I could sustain just doing them for a long period of time. If I was running them or if I was participating in them. Yeah, this area is starting to look really nice. I mean, this is mostly done, I think. I think this staircase looks just fine the way that it is. I'm going to need to do some shading. That's kind of the final bit of detailing I need to do. Oh. Oh, ho. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. I mentioned all the different Valentine's assets. Of course, you see like the health bonuses are hearts. One that I really like is that the plasma gun shoots purple hearts out. All the keys have been recolored. See, this one opens that door. And let's see, to get the Cyber Demon to open, you have to get the red key. That opens multiple traps. And then it's a little clunky getting out of this arena, but it's designed reasonably well in terms of the progression. Is that the plasma gun? Yeah, that's just the plasma gun. The crossbow is like Cupid's arrow. It's the crossbow from Heretic, obviously, but I think the implementation is it's Cupid's arrow, or the implication. Did I say implementation? I'm like making up words by combining multiple words together. Neat. Yeah, this will work. I just need to start the map without no monsters on, but yeah, it's the rocket launcher. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. The whole map was gray one when I got it, and there was no exterior areas or anything. So yeah, the whole map looked like this. The entire map did. So all this is what I've accomplished so far. You can see, I mean, I've spent several hours on it at this point, and I've basically only scratched the surface, but I'm not actually that worried about it. I still need to do this. Because as I was saying at various points, is that a lot of what I was doing here in this area in particular was fleshing out what the rules and the patterns of my texturing language for this map were going to be. And so now that I know what all this is, I can go to the other areas and design them much faster. I'll only have to think about, ways to vary this little piece by piece here and there, but by and large, I can probably rely on the white marble and, the pink insets and stuff like this to kind of detail most of these other areas. The challenge will be in making them distinct from one another so that there isn't really any confusion about where you are. But I'll probably accomplish that by incorporating more things like, landmarks. Like, this is the area where you go up the spiral staircase and there's an outside, and this, maybe will be the area where there's a fireplace or something. So, yeah. Thanks for the compliments about the visuals. Details are nice. Looks fantastic. Thank you. I've been pulling my weight. I'd say, yeah. I mean, that's not to imply that, like, Sneezy did all the geometry design, which I actually really like the layout of this map quite a bit. It's a very simple map overall, but Beetbeard went through and placed all the things and the keys and stuff like that, and kind of designed the traps and the progression. And he doesn't really map. He's never really mapped before. I think he did a really good job. Like, this map's actually got some pretty interesting stuff going on it for the gameplay department. So, I just like that I was given something that all I have to do is detail, because a lot of times when I start making a map, I like want to do everything all at once. I want to lay it out, I want to design fights, and I want to detail all at the same time. And so I kind of start tripping over myself in the design process because I'm just too eager to do too many different elements of it. And so what I end up doing usually is I'll put all layers of effort into like the first area or the first couple of areas, and that'll be kind of like the keystone of like what the rest of the map is going to look or feel like. And then I'll just block out the rest of the map and design the combat and gameplay. And only at the end will I usually come in and do like the heavy-handed detailing. So this is fun because I get to just skip straight to the detailing, and I don't have to think about any of the other elements. And so I'm not worried as much about the time that I'm spending on obsessively detailing stuff. It's really nice. So I guess, to say if it seems like I'm doing a lot more than the people that I'm working with or anything like that, I wouldn't say that at all. I'm purposefully just putting a lot into it because I'm enjoying it. Do I have ADHD? Yes, I do have ADHD. Yes, I've had ADHD my entire life, of course. And so maybe you perhaps recognize my need to like think in specific ways to allow myself to work productively, because I become aware of a lot of my pitfalls. That'll work. My creative process makes complete sense to you. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like a lot of my creative process involves controlling for the chaos in my brain sometimes. But I feel like I've done a pretty good job at figuring a lot of that stuff out. So, it's nice. There we go. I think the other day, I got a little confused about this shape for some reason. And I realized when I went back and watched the VOD that I created the weirdness in the shape in the first place. I went back and looked at the VOD for a minute and saw that. So, okay, here we go. Fix that. So, all right. So, really, I could put a little more detail into this. I think I'll do that a little bit later. I'm ready to move on to another area. I can either start working on some other areas, or I can... What the hell? That was weird. Or I can... I still need to design this thing, but I'm going to do that later, too. I could do some shadowing in this area. It could be kind of cool. Let me see. Shading is one of my favorite parts as well. 160. 160. This is 144. Let's see. I feel like this is... Do I want this to be 128? Hello there. Helps you with your job as an electrician quite a bit. You can hyper focus. Yeah, when you can get really like fixated and into the zone, then it's like it is almost like a superpower. But most of the time, it is a wrestling match. Make this 144. Yeah, I'm going to save, I think, most of the lighting for last, but I do kind of want to do just a little bit because it's fun. So I think what I'm going to do is draw a line from here to here. No. The thing is that the shape of this hallway makes it a little bit of a weird endeavor. You can't always get into the frame of mind to do lighting work. Are you saying that you generally don't put a lot of time into the lighting work despite the fact that you usually like the end product, or? Because I feel like maps look so naked without lighting. Wait a minute, I don't need that to go all the way around. I need it to start on this side, and it'll just end where the windows end, which is right here. So let me see. Normally what I like to do with lighting is make sure that up against the wall it's actually dark. But to do that, for this, I need to... the problem with this is I just don't want there to be like 15,000 vertices all near each other in this area, because this is how I'm going to start getting slime trails and stuff like that. I think this is going to be one of those areas where the lighting doesn't have to be too complicated. It just needs to be there and make a little bit of sense. Make this 128, then this can be 208 so that it's a very sharp contrast. And then, of course, the back of the wall. 144? Oh, yeah, there we go. I think this is 160, and I think this is 176 because it gets light from that area. And then that's 128. This is 128. This is maybe 160. Yeah. Lighting's a bit of a bottleneck. I don't enjoy it commensurately for how much it helps the map improve. I see. What's up, Dark Pulse? Honestly, I think good lighting is everything. I always notice when lighting is not as detailed as it possibly could be. I don't think every single map has to be this like ridiculously detailed masterpiece, but I will say that sometimes really good lighting just hits. It just really hits. Had a long work night, pretty exhausted. Oh, so you picked up some evening work, I assume. I mean, this looks so much cooler now with the lighting. Sick. One thing I was thinking about doing was maybe using a mid-texture in the windows. I don't think I want to, but I do want to see what it looks like, if nothing else. The thing is that this really has a lot of stuff that I don't think fits for what I want. A white picket fence. That's interesting. Some icicles. But any of these weird, like, chapel shapes work? I don't know. I should find a way to use these heart mid textures too. There's so many things I want to do. Ooh. Floral wreaths. It's probably not going to look right. It's probably going to repeat in a weird way and just look wrong, but... I'm making a face right now. One thing that's missing from the context is I'm making like an expression of consternation. I felt the muscles in my face tighten up because I'm looking at this and it looks I don't like that it doesn't repeat evenly, but I do kind of like the idea of these being in the window. I can't explain why. You want tomorrow to be done and over. Maybe enjoy Friday night. Yeah, I'm gonna stream tomorrow and then a fun work meeting where people ran over that safety. Oh, that fucking sucks. That's annoying. On a Saturday. No, my tongue does not stick out. I just scrunch my entire face up. What the hell? Why is it like that? Oh, there we go. Does that look right? Let them sit there. Yeah, I just almost immediately realized that I think what I'll try to do with the floral stuff is I'll try to find a place to use it somewhere else. Now, Large Cat, if you're still in here, on the topic of like the shading, I've seen, situations where people will use a mid texture like this and then they'll like shade the bars. I won't go that far. That's too much for me. That being said, I will give it props when I see it. But personally speaking, I'm not going to try to do it. It's just too much work. Two hours of repeating PowerPoints in an auditorium. Well, that blows. Sorry to hear that. Cool. All right. Well, I'm ready to... Oh, choices now. I'm kind of being drawn in this direction for some reason. It's another hallway. So I could basically detail another hallway and it would probably look like this room. Or I can just go to this room, which is right next to it, and turn this into something. There's another couple of ideas that I'm having too. So I know this area, I want to be some kind of water type of thing. So like a little, not a sewer, but a little cistern or some kind of basin down below. Geometry bars rather than mid-text. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. And I'd say the only time it's really worth it is when it's like a major part of the map where it's like maybe the beginning. Like if you started out in a room that had like a window like that in it, it could look cool. But there's no way I would do everything. Or like the exit room, of course. My productivity's taking a dip. I have a little dog in my lap now, so I have to frequently take my hands off the keyboard. Let's see. So this is one of the key pedestals. This is a Mancubus trap. Well, not a trap. They're just perched up here. Turrets. Super shotguns in here. I don't think I want to make this another outdoors area. I want to make it something distinct. All right, well, let me start with... You know what? I want to just look through the textures. That's what I want to do. A pink room, a big pink room. Unironically, yes. What is that going to look like? Thinking about this, I have some thoughts. I'm just trying to decide where we're going with this. $32. I think a 32. A 32. I think a 32 inset could be good. Whoops. Ooh, hold on a second. Yes, no. I'm not sure. Try not to play with the geometry too much. This isn't going to look good, is it? There's like a world where this could work, but it's not this one. This could be interesting. I kind of don't hate this. Didn't my mom teach me not to play with geometry? My mom actually didn't have a lot of input in Doom mapping as I was growing up, oddly enough. Although my mom did actually play Doom. That's a sky that nobody's going to ever see. That has not happened. Dark Pulse. It has not happened. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, so the trick is to get these to line up. So actually, I think... Yeah, there we go. Easiest solution. Maybe 2 more. Yeah, okay. And then put the white marble here. Yeah, this is starting to kind of take a shape I think I'm interested in. What else? What else? Oh, this isn't going to line up. That's a shame. I kind of want that to line up with this so that all the marble in the entire map is on the same alignment. So I guess I'll do this, which means I do need to change this one. This will need to come up again. And then this needs to change, and then this needs to change. And then here we go. Bring this one up. Nice. Okay, cool. Even though I'm sure there's going to be a border texture breaking those things up. See, this could be another light. Could it? Could this be a light? Is there another... Tell me there's a double wide pink light. There's not. There's just this one. My favorite thing to do with lights is to just crank them up to 256. This looks a little odd. What am I doing here? Some of these look a little weird. I have a lot of lighting levels to adjust. You know what? I'm not going to let myself get distracted by that right now. A bit of trim to mask it. Yeah, I'll put a lot of trim in here at some point. There'll be more trim in this area. I don't know why this is untextured. I think that's going to be something else. I'm thinking about drawing a heart shape and making that this platform, which would be pretty cool. Let's see. When textures it. Yeah, this stuff isn't all perfect yet. The way that these walls hit at this angle, it's so weird, but I think okay, I think I'm gonna make this like a compound border that it borders on multiple angles, and then maybe up here as well. And then let's grab the black tile. Do I want this to look like that? $17, $17. Yeah, that more or less works. I think this room will be good if I use black trim everywhere. So like here and here. Yeah. One texture is different on the step pyramid thing. Yeah, this thing is... I'm going to change this to... I'm going to change the shape of this later. I'm going to completely change it. So I'm not really worried about what it looks like right now. This is telling me that there's still more detail to put in it in terms of the different patterns of the textures. But so far, I'm liking what this looks like. Ooh, hold on. Can I have an idea here? This might be a little bit tricky to get to work. But I have an idea. I take this light. What? That lines up almost perfectly. That's actually kind of shocking. I kind of like that. With the right ceiling texture, I think that could look really cool. Oh, my foot is falling asleep. Ah, this dog, man. All right. I wish there was a way to make the light go over like that. There technically would be. I could draw a sector and drop it down. But I don't think it would look right. It wouldn't look the same. There's still... Let's see. So I think one thing I want to do... I like that these mancubuses, mancubuses are on these turret pedestals. But I do want the pedestals to look a little bit more organic with the map geometry. So... that tells me that... All right, I'm going to put this here for the time being. I think I want to draw just like a weird shape. 45-degree angle, bring it over this way. I really don't want to modify too much stuff, but I think that looks like it could have belonged. It belongs in the map. Yeah, that's fine. That'll look fine. I just need more trim pieces now. I think I need one on this side too. The only thing I don't like is that these two are now close together. Yeah. I can just merge this sector into this one now. I don't need to keep it. And we maintain the same function. It's just that it looks a little bit more like it belongs. I don't think that that's what this is going to look like from a finished perspective, but we'll see. Was it 10:30? I think I'm going to wrap the stream up. I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm going to save a little bit of energy because I'm going to stream TNT Devolution tomorrow. And that'll probably be a much longer stream. So let's treat this like a marathon and not a sprint. And I'll call the stream here. Thanks for tuning in and watching me pick away at this map and make... What did I do? I like finished one room. I drew this and I detailed this in like an hour and a half. Oops. But yeah, there we go. That's kind of the deal this time, and I'll be online tomorrow to play TNT Devolution. So check it out if you'd like, and if you don't, then take care. I hope you have a great weekend. All right, bye-bye, everybody.